Welcome to H2K Infosys. H2K Infosys is a e-verify business based in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. We provide 100% job-oriented, instructor-led, face-to-face, true live online software training programs. It also includes access to cloud test lab with software tools. We provide live project for you to work on. We also provide assistance with mock interviews, resume preparation and review, and job placement assistance. H2K Infosys is trusted by so many students across the world. H2K Infosys provides world-class services in IT training with real-time project work for corporates and individuals, special IT training for MS students in the United States, software design, development, QA manual and automation, performance testing and maintenance, IT staff augmentation, job placement assistance, and tech support.
Everybody, today we are going to look at what are the different types of testing we do. This video presentation is meant for H2K students. Okay, what are different types of testing? So mainly, if you look at the SDLC, software development life cycle, there are different steps, right? So first, what is SDLC? What is software development life cycle? So it is a process that explains different steps, how the software is developed. Right? It is a process that explains different steps, how the software is developed. So what are the different steps involved in SDLC? Requirements, design, coding, testing, release, and maintenance. Right? So these are the different steps that are involved in SDLC process. So you need to understand what happens at each stage, and then what are the different types of testing that will be done as part of this software development project. Okay, let's take a project like bankofamerica.com. Okay, so that is a project. And this is the team. So there are 5 developers working, 3 testers working, 1 business analyst, and 1 project manager. So this is the project, and let's try to see what happens in this particular project, what are the different steps, how you are going to implement this SDLC in this particular project. So let's start with the requirements, right? So what happens in the requirements? Mainly the business analyst is going to gather requirements from clients and users. Like in the project initiation stage, the business analyst is going to gather requirements from clients and users. And then he is going to prepare the requirements documents or the use cases. Okay, requirements or the use cases, both are same. In the old traditional methodologies, we used to call them as the requirements, the project requirements. And now in the recent project methodologies like Agile, we call them as the use cases. But both are same. Okay, whether it's a requirement or the use case, both are same. So what this use case or the requirement is mainly is that explains how the user is going to use the application, how the user interact with the application. Okay, what is that user experience with the application? That is the use case. Okay. So for example, we are talking about bankofamerica.com, right? So what are the different use cases? So these are the typical use cases for the bankofamerica.com project. Like say login, check balance, transfer money, print statements, online bill pay, and so on. So he is going to prepare the requirements or the use cases in a business requirements document. So for example, this is the kind of business requirements document that will be prepared by the business analyst. Okay, so this is the requirements document that contains all these functional requirements for a project. So he is going to prepare these documents, and then it's basically a non-technical document. Okay, it's a non-technical document that comes from the business analyst that contains all these project requirements. Okay, then what happens once the business requirements is ready with this requirements document? Then what happens is he is going to send the document to the technical team. Like here, developers, testers, project managers are part of this technical team. So this is mainly the interaction between different people, right? So customer, business analyst, and the technical team. The business analyst is going to set up a meeting with the customer and try to understand what is his need and try to gather the requirements. And he's going to prepare the requirements document. And he's going to send that requirement document to the technical team within the company. And here comes the developers, testers, and the project manager. And both the development team and the testing team are going to get these requirements documents. To better understand the roles, like the business analyst is also called the product manager, or he is also called an internal customer. He behaves like an internal customer because he wants the product. Because he works on behalf of the customer. He knows what his customer needs. That way just he wants to make sure whether customer is happy with the software what we develop. Whereas when it comes to this project manager, he do people management, right? So as a tester, you are going to interact with this project manager on daily basis. That means he is going to assign you the task and then he collect the status on the task. Okay, so this way these are the different roles like the business analyst, the product manager, and project manager. Then here comes the business analyst, right? The requirements. So this is what actually happens in the development team and the testing team, right? Once this requirements document is ready from business analyst, he is going to send this requirements document to the development team and also to the testing team. Then what are they going to do is, the development team is going to prepare the design documents based on the requirements, and at the same time, the testing team is going to prepare the test cases based on the requirements. And then once the design document is ready, then the development team is going to do the coding. They build the application. Then what the testing team is going to do? By the time the test cases are ready, right? And they are going to run their test cases in order to test the application. So this way, these are the different activities that go in parallel between the development team and the testing team. Okay? Okay. Let's talk in detail what happens in the design stage. So the project manager is going to distribute the work, right? So he's going to say, hey, developer 1 is going to work on, say, login use case. Developer 2 is going to work on check balance use case. Developer 3 is going to work on the other use case. This way the work will be distributed among the development team. And then what each individual developer are going to do is, they're going to prepare the design documents. So what mainly the design document contains? It is a technical document that will be prepared by the development team. So if you look at it, we're talking about The BRD is a non-technical document, whereas the design document is a technical document. What is the difference between these two? Business requirement document that explains, say for example, the customer needs a login page. What the login page contains, that explains in the design documents. It's the same thing, right? Say you want to construct a building and your requirement is you need a 5-bedroom house. Then the moment you go to the builder is first going to come up with a design, right? The blueprint of your building. He's going to explain, hey, this is where your master bedroom and this is where your kids' bedroom, kitchen, and so on, right? The concept is same. Once you get the requirements from business analyst, the development team is going to prepare the design documents. Okay, what the login page should contain. Like the username text box, password text box, and login button. That explains the design document. So once the design document is ready, and then the next step is the coding, right? Based on the design, the development team is going to build the application. They do programming. Say for example, developer 1, they do coding for login. Developer 2, they do coding for check balance and so on, right? And then once they do coding, again, it's the developer responsibility. They make sure their code works, right? How they are going to check their code is working? So they are going to do this unit testing, unit, module, or component testing. In other words, it is called white box testing. Main thing is they are going to check the code, how the code works. Whenever they do the coding, right, they are going to implement the logic. So what's the logic? If it is a valid username and password, then the login is successful. Else, error message. Right? This is the logic. They have to check whether this logic is working properly or not. So that's why they are going to check the code and see if everything works fine. Then the next step is they are going to store code on the server. Then again, why they have to maintain again their code on the server? Why not they keep on their machine? Basically, like why they maintain their code on the server is, see, if you look at bankofamerica.com application, it's not just the login page, right? It contains all different functionality, like the login, check balance, transfer money, pay bills. All together is called a Bank of America application. So here, these are called the different units or the modules, right? So login is one unit. Check balance is another unit. So whenever each developer contributes their unit, right, he develops the functionality, and then they are going to place their code. Say developer 1 is going to place the code. He is going to store the code for login. Developer 2 is going to store code for check balance. Developer 3 is going to store code for transfer money. This way, each individual developers are contributing the code and they're going to store their unit code on the server. Then here, the integration will be done. Integration of different units will be done in order to build the whole application. So whenever they store code on the server, right, they are going to use different configuration management tools like Visual Sources, CVS, or Perforce, and those things. The main functionality of this configuration management tools is check-in and check-out. check-in is basically the developer is going to store code on the server, and checkout is get latest code from server. That means what they do is usually at the end of the day, the developer do check-in. Okay, whatever the code that he developed for the day, he's going to check in that code. And then tomorrow, when he start working, he's going to get the latest code again from server and then continue his work. Okay, those are basically the check-in and checkout operations on these tools. And what is this history is basically even you can keep track of the history. Okay, so who are all making those changes, like 1 month back, how is the code, and now how is the code. You can make all those, you can keep track of all those changes using this history. Okay, so then the next thing is like we are going to integrate these different units, right, in order to build the whole application. Here main question is, okay, who is going to integrate this one? Who is going to integrate this application? There is a small team called build management team, so called the release team, and their job is they have to build the application. Okay, build management team, their job is to build the application. So how they are going to build the application is, they are going to prepare setup.exe. So for that they are going to use different tools like install sheet and install anywhere, and then they are going to prepare setup.exe and they build the application. That's what actually happens from the development team and management team, build management team. And then comes the testing team. Okay, so then here the work will be distributed again by the project manager to the individual testers, right? He's going to say, hey, tester 1 is going to work on, say, login and check balance, and tester 2 is going to work on, say, transfer money on the update profile. So by this time, when the build is ready, the testing team is ready with the test cases, right? So tester 1 prepared the sum of the test cases, and tester 2 prepared the test cases for his use cases. And then once the application is ready, you're going to get the setup.exe from build management team. Right? So once you get the setup.exe from build management team, then you're going to install the application. Just you need to double click on the setup.exe and application will be installed on your system. Then the next step is, once you install the application, you are going to do the smoke test or the sanity test. So what is this smoke or sanity test? You're going to test the basic functionality of application. Why we do this? So for example, let's say you want to buy a car. Right? You want to buy a car. And then you go to the showroom. Then what are the different things you do? You go for test drive, right? So what is the test drive? You're going to check the basic functionality of the car. Okay, how the car is running, how the transmission works, how the braking system works, what is the seating arrangement, how are the windows. So you're going to check the basic features of the car. Because in road test, you cannot test each and every individual features, right? Because you'll be given very limited time. And then you're going to check the basic functionality. Similarly, that is the main intention why we do this smoke test. Once you get the build, you are going to test the basic functionality. So if you look at say bankofamerica.com, you're going to mainly focus on the basic functionality like how the login works, how is the check balance, how is transfer money. So this way you're going to check the basic functionality of the car and see how it works. If anything wrong, like say you install application and you are doing this smoke test and login itself is not working, then that is a roadblock, right? That is a showstopper for you. Then what you have to do is you're going to report that issue to the build management team, saying that, hey, you provide me setup.exe and I installed the application and I couldn't log in. That way, any roadstoppers, any roadblocks, any showstoppers that you're going to raise during this smoke test. Mainly to check the stability of application or build. So once you get through this smoke test, then we are going to do different functional testing in detail. That's where the functional testing, GUI or black box testing. See, when the developers do, we name it as a white box testing. Whereas here, when the testers do, we name it as a black box testing. So what is the difference between these two? White box testing means, if you look at the Gmail, if you enter his name and password and click login, the developer can see how the code is executing line by line. Whereas when it comes to this black box testing, everything is black, right? It's not transparent. So it means once you enter the username and password and click login, you don't see code at all. So that's what you are going to mainly focus on, functional or GUI testing, graphical user interface. And under this umbrella, you have again different types of testing, like the integration test. Okay, what is integration testing? Okay, so what is integration testing? It's the integration of different units. In other words, it's called the workflow testing. So for example, you look at the workflow, right? So in the workflow, you have different steps. Login, check balance. Okay, just you login. Login is one unit, right? Check balance is another unit. And then you check the balance is $1,000. And then you do transfer money from this account to this account, and you want to transfer $500.
So many of our students have given testimonials on how our training programs are. You will find them on kudzu.com and on our website h2kinfosys.com. On our website h2kinfosys.com, you will also find more detailed information on who we are, the courses that we offer, what each course covers. Also, if you're interested in a demo program, please register on our homepage on the left-hand side. Just give us more information about yourself and we will send you a link for a demo class. The demo class is absolutely free. Experience our commitment by just attending an orientation workshop at no cost. Our team of faculty and advisors are here to guide you with the right information. If you still have more questions, please feel free to call us. Call us at 770-777-1269. This is a United States number. If you're calling from the UK, call us at 020-337-17615. You can also email us at training@h2kinfosys.com or h2kinfosys@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our videos. We wish you a great career in information technology.